join me in the reading of Luke chapter 5, verses 1 through 11. Jesus calls his first disciples. One day, as Jesus was standing by the lake of Gennesaret, the people were crowding around him and listening to the word of God. He saw at the water's edge 2 boats, left there by the fishermen who were washing their nets. He got into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, and asked him to put out a little from shore. Then he sat down and taught the people from the boat. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets." When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them, and they came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man." For he and all his companions were astonished at the catch of fish they had taken. And so were James and John, the sons of Zebedee, Simon's partners. Then Jesus said to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on you will fish for people." So they pulled their boats up on shore, left everything, and followed him.
The word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
I like the goldfish. You should be goldfishers of men. I love it. At this point, I would like to delay you having to listen to me for a moment by asking our Scoutmaster, Matthew Swenson, to come up and say a few words about the troop.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Matthew Swenson. I go by Matt. If you meet me out in the hallway, you can just shorten my name. But like all of us, we go by many names, so whatever you choose to call me. I'm a troop scoutmaster here at Troop 911. And first and foremost, it's an honor that you all have us here. So we want to thank you for allowing us to be part of your community and your congregation here. Our prior scoutmaster was mentioning earlier about the history of the troop in Winston-Salem. I don't know if you know this. We have been a part of this congregation as it has changed and evolved over the last 100 years. As we all know, everything changes and evolves. Today is actually the 115th anniversary of Boy Scouting here in the U.S. And in honor of that, it changes and evolves, and it's no longer Boy Scouts of America, it's Scouting America. So that's how Scouts have changed a little bit. It's always been welcoming, but now it's more inclusive. We have proper Girl Scout troops that are part of Scouting America. We have Boy Scout troops. Here at this church, you have a Boy Scout troop. We are Scout-led. What this means is, while we have adult leaders, we're here to guide and to mentor and pass on advice to our scouts, but it is our older scouts that help lead and explain to our younger scouts as they rank up in doing their activities, and in turn it will be their time for them to lead and explain to the younger scouts below them, sort of fulfilling the ongoing legacy of our organization. Scouting America, which we're a part of, it has 4 aims. It's character development, citizenship, leadership development, as well as fitness. It's our mission to prepare these young gentlemen in front of you, as well as all of the other scouts in our troop, to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling them the values of scouting, while also developing a love of service by volunteering in our communities. You'll probably sit back and think, this sounds a lot like our church. We make a great fit. We've got 30 scouts within our troop. We've got from Tenderfoot, one of our scouts here, who just read. He's actually our youngest scout. He's a Tenderfoot. This year, we have 3 scouts that became Eagle Scouts. That's the highest pinnacle that they can achieve as a Boy Scout. We've got 9 other scouts who are Life Scouts, who are just one step away from that journey. Scott Johnson here as well. He's a Life Scout. So these are big steps in their lives, and we're here to help them progress on that journey. We have a program every year for these scouts. They create the program, and the idea is, they're trying to earn rank advancements. They're trying to earn merit badges. They're learning about life. They're learning about being on their own. They're learning about cooking and camping and hiking. So we put together a program with them. Our goal is we have 10 events a year. So everything that they are out learning on Tuesday nights here at the church, they can put into practice. And just kind of want to go through some of these things that we have done over the past year, so you're aware. Annually, and this year as well, we've helped out with the church pine needle sale and the barbecue sale. We've gone hiking and camping in Dalton State Park. And specifically on this effort, Scott did a 20-mile hike, which was the culmination of his hiking merit badge. More importantly, what was really nice to see was all the scouts getting behind Scott and taking turns hiking with him to make sure that his pace and his morale was kept high. From what I saw, that was the true spirit of scouting. We've had conservation, volunteering in the community. Every year we participate in the Winston-Salem Creek Week cleanup. We have gone to Camp Ravenna, which is out in Mount Airy. Specifically, we went so the scouts, one event could practice their cooking and their backcountry skills. Another event we attended there was so the scouts could hike the hills around the camp so they could get at least 1,000 feet of hiking in elevation. This was part of their camping merit badge. These scouts also attend a week-long camp at Ravenna. They get the chance to engage with other scouts across the Carolinas and many states across the U.S. Our younger scouts work on their rank attainment and as well as their merit badges, which the older scouts work on as well. We went out to Blowing Rock. We did a Tanawa Trail for hiking. We also went out to Cherokee, North Carolina, so for more camping and hiking, and we attended the Oconaluftee Indian Village. A couple of scouts went out to the coast. They went to the Oregon Inlet Campground. We've had some scouts also attend their National Youth Leadership Training this year. This is a multi-day course designed to develop confidence and leadership abilities within the scouts while having them work together as a team within a team environment. We've got a sea base that's close to us here at High Rock Lake. We've camped out there twice this year. We also went hiking at Eagle Point Nature Preserve. This gave the scouts an opportunity to work on their orienteering skills using a map and a compass, which is part of the things that they do need to learn as scouts. We recently went skiing in Winter Place, West Virginia, just a fun ski day with scouts. But we also have different merit badges. There's a snow sport merit badge that by skiing and showing their skills, it's part of what they would need to do to accomplish that merit badge. We had a Klondike Derby, which was in Kernersville about a month ago. Our troop won Most Spirited Troop while we were there. They were extremely happy. We're not going to do any cheers here. But this event is a really good event for scouts. It's designed to test their outdoor scouting, their teamwork, their leadership, all while using the patrol method. And last but not least, they participated in scouting for food over the past 2 weekends. What we do is we pass out the bags amongst the Sherwood Forest neighborhood, and then we come back a week later and we pick up those bags full of canned food. At a minimum, there was 20, 25 bags that this congregation left at our doorsteps both today and over the past week. So I want to thank you all for participating, and we will get that into the proper hands so that food goes to the people that need it. So from our Scout family to your Scout family, thank you for participating with us. That's really a general idea of who we are and what we do. I think one thing that we don't mention too much, and you may fail to recognize with these Scouts, is the time management that they're learning in everything they do, right? We are only one facet of their life. They've got their schoolwork, their commitment to sports, to music, to arts, their religious duties, and our older Scouts also have jobs. So it's just the time management for them to be able to figure out how to complete their Scout journey within the rest of everything that they have going on. It is just one more thing that they're learning. And I think as adults, we look back and look at how busy we are and are grateful that we do have the ability to manage time, and these young gentlemen are learning themselves. Finally, before I get off, you'll notice that everyone is in their field dress uniform. It's also called Class A's. For those that grew up in Scouting, hopefully this brings fond memories of past times, good friends that you made when you were a youngster. For those who are not in Scouting, please stop by, chat with our Scouts, ask them what the different badges represent on their uniform, because it all tells a story. It tells a story of who they are, what they're doing, and what they have done on their journey in Scouting. And lastly, just Terry, thank you for being the liaison to the Scouts here in the church. If you would like to be involved, if you know of youngsters that wants to get involved in Scouting, or you feel that they would be a good candidate, from Cub Scouts up to Boy Scouts, right? Cub Scouts starts, it's elementary school age. Boy Scouts is middle school and high school. If they are not local here for our troop or a pack locally, we can help find them a home. So I'm here. Terry can be the liaison to me. If you do have a candidate, we would love to grow this movement. So with that, I just want to say thank you. I hope you also notice we do have a brand new Sherwood Forest United Methodist flag to honor the change in this church and the fact that we are a part of it. So once again, from our family to yours, thank you for allowing us to be a part of it.
This is a busy troop. I love it because this is a busy troop. I've been tangentially associated with this troop for 26 years, starting with Parkway Presbyterian and Cub Scouts, and then moving into Boy Scouts, and through several Scoutmasters, and it just gets better and better. So thank you guys for what you do. Thank you guys for what you do, and thank you guys for what you do. From our gospel reading, you heard about the fact that Jesus was standing by the lake of Gennesaret. Does anybody besides Greg and Kathy know where that is? Yeah, it's the Greek term for the Sea of Galilee. Just so that you know that we're talking about the same general area. Average depth 80 feet. Okay, so you can imagine fishing there. The title of this homily is the Fishing Merit Badge, and I went back in my memory banks to my favorite Fishing Merit Badge story. And it was in 2002. We were at Carolina Beach for a deep sea fishing trip that Murray Sink was in charge of. And the weather was so bad that we couldn't go out in the boat. And so we thought, well, okay, no, there is no okay if Murray Sink is around. who caught the merit badge there on a bridge over a little creek, and the boys got to see what it was about. And so I've always been impressed by the fact that Marie could improvise like that. This is something that you guys are picking up every day. Okay, on to the homily. Boys, pay attention. You will be tested on this material. Retired professor. What does it mean to fish for people? Well, first of all, we're talking about fishing, not fishing. Okay? There's a fishing with a PH that you see related to duping people on the web. They're based on the same fundamental concepts. You want to convince people that this idea is worth pursuing, that is worth their time. So, if you're going to try to convince people to spend their money or their time on this thing and not that thing, that's fishing. How do you convince people to do something different? Well, there's two ways. One of them is by preaching, and one of them is by example. Now, preaching doesn't mean just standing up here talking to a captive audience, or standing on a corner in Mount Airy yelling Bible verses at people as they walk by. It involves telling people things that you believe will help them. Telling them how Jesus has helped you and how he can help them. It doesn't just have to be about Jesus, but it does have to be about help. I have a friend who announced on Facebook that he had been sober for a certain number of years. That took courage, because if there's one thing we know about opening yourself up on the web, it is that people may say nasty things. He doesn't care if people say nasty things. He knows that some people who need to see his message will take hope from it. He sacrifices his good name for the sake of strangers. In my opinion, that increases his good name. You need to be willing to say things that are true but not necessarily popular. So, if one of your friends makes a racist comment, what should you do? Let it go?
No.
You tell that person, hey, that's not cool. Don't be so sensitive, weak little baby, they might come back with. Tell them to go to the group that they're slandering and say what they just said. Now who's the coward? Preaching only goes so far. You need to remember that you're also a role model. You guys, you're role models. Just by being here, you prove something to the rest of the people in the room. People are watching to see what you do. So do the right thing. So when a friend throws out a racist comment, you can say something, but you can also do something, like leave. You don't have to honor that person with your attention. Leaving will be their loss, not yours. Sometimes it might even be dangerous to say something. But here's what you can do. If somebody says something that you find offensive, you can either say, hey, man, that's not cool, or, excuse me, I need to go over there for a minute, and just leave. You don't owe anybody the benefit of your presence if they are not deserving, least of all racist fools. People who say nasty things are usually doing it for attention. Consider a bully. Okay? You guys have been to school. You know there are bullies in this world. Somebody who seems to get a kick out of being mean to people or saying reactionary things. Why do they do that? Well, because it makes them the center of attention. And attention is their reward. Attention is something that you give people. But it's also something that you can withhold. Remember that this bully is really a sad, ego-weak, attention-starved misfit. Yikes. You can tell them I said so. They often don't have the social skills necessary to get attention any other way, and bullying is easy if you're bigger or stronger or meaner than the next person. But now, to quote Jesus, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. even if it looks like they're enjoying it. That person needs your help. You can pity the bully, or you can help them improve, but you should never just let it go. Your pity doesn't really help them, but you can help them improve by either explaining why what they said is wrong, or by walking away, or by not laughing. You withhold the attention that they crave, they will eventually get the message. You starve that fire of fuel, then they might change. So you don't have to tolerate this kind of stuff. Showing kindness is not the same thing as tolerating inappropriateness. And if you are the bully, it's time to learn a different way. The world will not accept this. You'll be much better off if you learn now to not do those things. Okay. Let's talk about your duty to God. Scouts, stand please. The Boy Scout oath, please. On my honor. Go ahead. Loud enough for people to hear it.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to honor my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
2. Thank you, guys. Have a seat. Did you hear that? My duty to God, help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. That sounds actually like pretty good advice, don't you think? So what is an oath? An oath is a promise to do something. Not just some of the time, and not just when it's easy, but all of the time, no matter what else is happening. We have a former pastor from this congregation, Carl Manuel, who used to say, doing the right thing is easy when it's easy. Doing the right thing when it's hard is what's called character. So when two people get married, hi dear, my wife is watching from home today. When two people get married, they take an oath to love and support each other no matter what. When a president is inaugurated, they take the oath of office, promising to uphold the Constitution. Not just some of it, but all of it. Not just some of the time, but all of the time. You make a promise to do your duty to God. Okay, now I'd like all of the Eagle Scouts in the room to stand. And remember, if you've ever been an Eagle Scout, you're still an Eagle Scout. Okay. And now, stay up there. Now I'd like everybody who's ever been in scouting, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, to stand. Do you take scouting seriously or not? Stay up there. Stay up there. Now I'd like everybody who is currently in a Methodist church to stand. Okay, good. Stay up there. Marilyn, you're standing in my heart. You people all took an oath to do your duty to God. Eagle Scouts, non-Eagle Scouts, non-Scouts, the fact that you're here, you all took that same basic oath to do your duty to God and to help other people, to stay strong, awake, and straight. Sit. One of the things I learned is that halfway through a lecture, you have to get the boys to do some exercise in order to keep them awake. In the gospel that we read, we heard that they left everything, even television, to follow Jesus. Following Jesus was their top priority. This was their duty. What does it mean to follow Jesus? What does it mean to do your duty to God? It means that you help people who need help. It means that you love everybody, not just your friends, not just your family, but everybody, even a sinner, even a bully, even people who believe things that you don't understand, even people you don't like, even your enemy, even your little brother. You love all of these people. How do you show that love? You show that love not by excluding them, but by including them. You show that love by stopping a bully from bullying them. Look at the kids. I'm talking to you guys now. Look at the kids. You know who some of these kids are. Look at the kids who always get picked on in the cafeteria. Look at the kids who never get picked on to be on the team. Those are the kids that need your help. Share your time, share your kindness, share your lunch. To paraphrase Matthew 25, as you withheld assistance from sinners, non-believers, and people you don't like, you withheld assistance from me. What you did for the least of these, you did for me. Who are the least of these? That doesn't just refer to poor people, or homeless people, or refugees, or crime victims, or criminals. It refers to that kid in that cafeteria that gets bullied every day. It refers to that kid that never makes the team. It refers to your little brother who keeps stealing your Pop-Tarts. The least of these also includes you. So you need to help yourself. You need to be kind to yourself and to other people. Looking the other way and saying there's nothing I can do, that's not kindness. Now ask yourself the simple question, do you want to help Jesus or hurt Jesus? Well, that's a pretty simple question. You want to help Jesus. If you want to help Jesus, you are already a fisher of men through your thoughts, words, and deeds. If you help other people live a better life, you are doing the work of the Lord. This is how you earn your fishing merit badge, which will help get you into heaven, but just as importantly, will make this world a better place. You have the power. You guys have the power. To squander that power to help people would be a sin. To use it would be a blessing. Remember, you took an oath, and I'm not just talking about the Scouts, I'm talking about everybody. You took an oath to do just that, to help Jesus. So stand up, be strong, keep your promise every minute of every day. Guys, remember earlier I said that you would be tested on this material? Well, everybody else in this room is also going to be tested on this material. The test starts now and it continues for the rest of your life. What are you going to do differently to prove to the world and yourself that you are good and kind and helpful? To prove to the world and to yourself that you have earned God's fishing merit badge.